The cold, unforgiving vacuum of space pressed against the thick, reinforced visor of Elias's helmet. Outside, the desolate, gray landscape of the moon stretched out before him, a cratered wasteland under the harsh glare of a distant sun. Earth, a swirling blue and green marble, hung suspended in the inky blackness, a silent reminder of the world he had left behind, a world now consumed by a ravenous plague. Elias shivered, not from the cold. His thermal-regulated spacesuit was doing its job admirably, but from the sheer, isolating loneliness that settled deep in his bones. Project Zomboid, Lunar Edition, the mod he had installed for a laugh, had suddenly become his grim reality. He had downloaded the habitat blueprints, the rover schematics, and even chuckled at the laser pistol models, never imagining he had actually need them. He tightened his grip on the aforementioned laser pistol, a bulky weapon that felt strangely reassuring in his gloved hand. He had spawned near a prefabricated lunar habitat module, thankfully intact, though the exterior was marred by impact craters, souvenirs of some long-ago, forgotten mission. The first few hours were a frantic blur of checking systems. The habitat was powered, the oxygen generator operational, and the hydroponics bay, though empty, was ready for planting. He prioritized scavenging resources from the nearby debris field, remnants of crashed landers, and abandoned rovers. Scrap metal, crucial for repairs and upgrades, was his primary target. He found a small, functional space rover parked inside a ruined hangar. It was battered, its paint peeling, but the engine sputtered to life, after some coaxing. The rover was a lifeline, a means to explore the vast lunar surface and, hopefully, to find other survivors. Logic dictated that there must be others who had downloaded the mod, people who had somehow found themselves stranded on the moon alongside him. Days bled into weeks. Elias established a routine. Every morning, after a nutrient-paced breakfast, he donned his spacesuit and ventured out. He learned to navigate the treacherous terrain, avoiding deep craters and unstable rock formations. He scoured abandoned research stations, hoping to find resources, tools, and, most desperately, seeds for the hydroponics bay. The laser pistol became his constant companion. Not for zombies, obviously. There were no zombies on the moon, thankfully. But the lunar landscape was far from uninhabited. Strange, crystalline creatures, shimmering with internal light, roamed the craters. Aggressive and territorial, they attacked on sight with razor-sharp appendages. Elias learned to deal with them swiftly and efficiently, the blue beam of his laser pistol vaporizing them into puffs of shimmering dust. He also encountered automated defense systems, remnants of forgotten human outposts. These laser turret arrays, programmed to defend against unknown threats, were indiscriminate. He had several close calls, narrowly escaping their pinpoint accuracy by using craters as cover and employing EMP grenades he salvaged from a crashed shuttle. One day, after weeks of fruitless searching, he stumbled upon a derelict research station, half buried in the lunar regolith. It was heavily damaged, its outer hull breached in multiple places, but the internal compartments were surprisingly intact. Inside, he found a treasure trove, spare parts for the habitat, a fully functional 3D printer, and, most importantly, a vault filled with seed packets. Hope surged through him. He carefully selected seeds for potatoes, tomatoes, and a variety of leafy greens. Back at the habitat, he meticulously planted them in the hydroponics bay, nurturing them with nutrient solutions scavenged from the derelict station. It was a long shot, but if he could get the hydroponics system working, he could achieve a degree of self-sufficiency, a crucial step towards long-term survival. Weeks turned into months. The hydroponics bay flourished. Elias harvested his first crop of potatoes, their earthy scent filling the habitat. The taste, though simple, was heavenly. He supplemented his nutrient-paced diet with fresh vegetables, improving his health and morale. He also expanded his base, using the 3D printer to fabricate modular living spaces and workshops. He built a dedicated research lab, where he tinkered with salvaged technology, trying to improve his equipment and find new ways to survive. One evening, while monitoring the long-range communication array he had cobbled together from salvaged components, he received a signal. A faint, garbled message, barely audible above the static. "Is anyone out there? This is Ars Base. Orbital Station." Elias's heart leapt. Ars Base. He remembered reading about it in the Project Zomboid mod description. It was a large, orbital space station, orbiting the moon. It was supposed to be a hub for survivors, a place to trade resources and coordinate rescue efforts. Ars Base, this is Lunar Habitat Alpha, Elias responded, his voice trembling with excitement. I copy your transmission. This is Elias, I am the sole survivor at Lunar Habitat Alpha. Do you copy? A long silence followed, filled with static. Then, a clearer voice responded. Lunar Habitat Alpha, this is Commander Ava Rostova. We copy you, Elias. We are detecting your signal. Stand by for orbital trajectory calculations. Hope bloomed in Elias's chest, brighter than the distant Earth. He wasn't alone anymore. Rescue was possible. He spent the next few days preparing for the arrival of the Ars Base shuttle. He repaired the landing pad near his habitat, cleared debris from the area, and prepared a welcoming message. When the shuttle finally arrived, a sleek, futuristic craft descending gracefully from the black sky, Elias felt a wave of emotion wash over him. He had survived. He had persevered against impossible odds. Commander Rostova emerged from the shuttle, her face etched with weariness, but her eyes filled with determination. She wore a similar spacesuit to Elias, but with the insignia of Ars Base emblazoned on her shoulder. Elias, she said, extending her hand. Welcome to the community. We've been monitoring your progress. You've done remarkable work here. Elias shook her hand, a genuine smile spreading across his face. Thank you, Commander. It's good to see another human face. Rostova explained that Ars Base was home to a small community of survivors, scientists, engineers, and former astronauts, all stranded on the moon by the same bizarre phenomenon. They had established a self-sustaining ecosystem on the station, growing food in hydroponics bays and generating power from solar panels. She invited Elias to join them on Ars Base, offering him a place in their community, and access to their resources. He readily accepted. He packed his belongings, carefully storing samples of his hydroponically grown vegetables and a few of his most prized salvage tools. As he boarded the shuttle, he looked back at Lunar Habitat Alpha, his home for the past 8 months. It was a simple structure, a testament to his resilience and determination. He knew he would never forget the isolation, the challenges, and the triumphs he had experienced on the moon. Life on Ars Base was a revelation. Elias was surrounded by other survivors, people who understood what he had gone through. He contributed his knowledge of hydroponics and resource management, helping to optimize the station's food production systems. He also worked with the engineers, repairing damaged equipment and developing new technologies. He befriended Dr. Anaya Petrova, a brilliant scientist who was studying the phenomenon that had brought them to the moon. She theorized that it was some kind of interdimensional rift, a glitch in the fabric of reality that had transported them from Earth to another dimension. Together, Elias and Dr. Petrova worked on a solution, searching for a way to close the rift and return to Earth. It was a long shot, but they refused to give up hope. They knew that somewhere, beyond the stars, their home planet was waiting for them. One day, Dr. Petrova made a breakthrough. She discovered a pattern in the energy fluctuations of the rift, a harmonic resonance that could potentially be used to stabilize it. She proposed building a device, a rift stabilizer, that could generate this resonance and close the rift. The construction of the rift stabilizer was a monumental task, requiring vast amounts of resources and the combined expertise of everyone on Ars Base. They worked tirelessly, scavenging materials from abandoned lunar outposts and utilizing the station's 3D printers to fabricate complex components. After months of relentless effort, the rift stabilizer was finally complete. It was a massive structure, a network of interconnected modules humming with energy. They placed it on the lunar surface, near the location where Elias had first appeared on the moon. The entire population of Ars Base gathered to witness the activation of the rift stabilizer. Dr. Petrova initiated the sequence, and the device began to emit a powerful energy field, bathing the lunar landscape in a shimmering light. The sky above them shimmered and distorted, and a swirling vortex of energy opened up, revealing a glimpse of Earth. It was a fleeting image, but it was enough to fill them with hope. The rift stabilizer continued to pulse with energy, gradually closing the interdimensional rift. As the rift narrowed, a beam of light shot out, connecting the moon to Earth. It's working! Dr. Petrova exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. The rift is stabilizing. We can go home. The survivors of Ars Base cheered, their voices echoing across the lunar landscape. They had done it. They had overcome the impossible and found a way back to Earth. As the rift closed completely, the beam of light vanished, and the sky above them returned to its normal, inky blackness. They had done it. They braced themselves to make the journey home, to return to a world ravaged by zombies, but still, their home. They had a lot of work ahead of them, but they were ready. They had survived the moon. And they would survive Earth.